viewers, welcome to Byte Media. ఈరోజు మన మధ్యలో మేజర్ మూవీలో టెర్రరిస్టులుగా యాక్ట్ చేసిన ఆర్టిస్టులు మన మధ్యలో ఉన్నారు. వారి గురించి అలాగే మూవీ గురించి వారిని అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. హాయ్ ఆల్, దిస్ ఇస్ శాలిని యాంకర్. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్, మే ఐ నో యువర్ గుడ్ నేమ్?
Starting from
Sai Kumar Devarkota.
Hi.
Your screen name?
Iftikhar.
Iftikhar. Hi, I'm Gaurav, the red t-shirt guy, Hafiz.
I'm Rocky Gondle and I'm playing Ali in the major.
I'm Thakur Hani Singh and I was playing Javed.
ఓకే, సో మీరందరూ ఇక్కడనే కదా, ఇండియా అని తెలుగు వాళ్ళు కదా, కొంగీట్ తప్ప. సో నార్మల్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు మేజర్ మూవీలో యాక్ట్ చేశారు కదా టెర్రరిస్టులుగా. సో ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీ మీకు ఎలా వచ్చింది? అంటే ఆపర్చునిటీ వచ్చినప్పుడు మీ రియాక్షన్ ఏంటి, ఎలా ఫీల్ అయ్యారు?
I think first of all audition point of view lo chuskunte this was probably one of the best auditions that I gave and I was very positive about it. Kani oka 1 month varaku I had no call, no message, nothing. So oka roju asalu em jarugutundi unda leda ఇంత పాజిటివ్ ఆడిషన్ అయిన తర్వాత దెర్ మస్ట్ బి సంథింగ్ అని చెప్పి ఆ రోజు వెళ్తే ద గై హూ టుక్ మై ఆడిషన్ వ్యాస్ హీ సెడ్ అరే బ్రో కంప్లీట్లీ మర్చిపోయాను నీ గురించి, ఒక్క 2 minutes ఇవ్వండి అని చెప్పి హీ వెంట్ టు ద ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్, హీ స్పోక్ టు హిమ్ అండ్ ఆన్ ద సేమ్ ఈవినింగ్ హీ గేవ్ మీ ద కన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఐ వాజ్ లైక్ okay, I've done something good. So I was very happy and very excited. And then the first time I met all these guys before the shoot, we didn't know anybody. So we were just looking around each other. Every పేర్లు తెలియదు, ఎవరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారో తెలియదు. We were just trying to guess who is playing Kasab, who is playing what. And then slowly we introduced ourselves and then on the first day of the shoot itself, we became good friends.
So my experience was completely different, I would say. Everybody was on board. The last person to get on board was me.
Yes.
Everybody was doing their costume trials. Under costume trial చేయడానికి వచ్చారు. ఆ రోజు నేను కలడానికి వచ్చాను. దాని 1 week తర్వాతనే ఫస్ట్ షెడ్యూల్ ఉండే మాది కర్నూలులో. కర్నూలు షెడ్యూల్కి 1 week ముందు వచ్చి నేను డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాను. వాళ్ళు చిన్న ఆడిషన్ టైప్ చేశారు, ద ఏడీ టీమ్ అండ్ ఆల్. అండ్ దాని తర్వాత ఆడిషన్ అయిపోయింది. ఐ లెఫ్ట్ ద నెక్స్ట్ డే. ఐ కేమ్ డౌన్, వాస్ ఫర్ ద కాస్ట్యూమ్ ట్రయల్ విత్ దీస్ గైస్ అగైన్. And that's when I met them, completely blank, clueless. I only knew one guy on this thing, Harshit Ani, Ummati, the guy who played Ummati. And then we left for Kurnool Belem Caves, and we had like a schedule of 23 hours non-stop.
Oh yes, that was the first day of the shoot and it was a crazy one. It was a crazy one.
We started around 3:30. We woke up at around 3:30.
The first shot I gave was 6:40 in the morning and the last shot I gave was 2:30 midnight.
Yeah, because in between we were shooting.
అంటే మీరు ముందు ఫ్రెండ్స్ కాదు, షూట్ కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఫ్రెండ్స్ అయ్యారు.
Absolutely.
ఓకే, సో దాని ముందు ఎంత ఎఫర్ట్స్ చేశారు? అంటే మీరు ఫస్ట్ మీ గురించి మీరు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేసుకొని మీ టాలెంట్ని ప్రూవ్ చేసుకోవాలంటే మీరు అక్కడ చాలా స్ట్రగుల్ అయ్యి ఉంటారు కదా. అంటే ముందు యాక్టింగ్ చేయాలని ముందు నుంచి ట్రై చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. సో దానివల్ల ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీ వచ్చింది.
Correct.
ఓకే,
దాని గురించి చెప్పాలంటే what I feel is ki see, we all belong to somewhere or the other the theatre background. We've been doing theatre for a long time now. So theatre lo elagante we don't have this bias, tanu pedda artist manam chinna artist alanti bias undadu theatre lo. Enta pedda artist aina direct ga maatladadame untundi. So the first day we met, we were like, hi, hello, what's your name? My name is this so and so. And then the first day we shot, we were like, hey bro, what's up man? What are you doing?
I think even before that, on our way to Kurnool, I clearly remember there's a vivid memory of all of us, dining in a restaurant on the way to Kurnool, and that is the moment we actually broke the ice. Like you said, we were from acting background, so immediately during lunch we had this thing, kya khayega, what did we have, this and that. So it helped us, open up as an actor. We were not nervous that this is our first shoot. And one thing that I want to say here is that none of them knows right now. I was casted for Ummati initially in the beginning. Okay. Nobody knows that.
And so I auditioned for Hafiz.
You auditioned for Hafiz. So, sorry bro.
So what?
So, Ummati was the character which is played by Harshit Maheshwari, a good friend of ours. So I was told that we want to audition you for one more character. So the first feeling was कि यार इतना गंदा कर दिया मैंने, they want to cast me into something else. And then I came back to Hyderabad for my second round. And after second round, I get a call that we want to have a look test. So the look test happened and everything, and then they said, now you're not playing Umati. I was like, shit, yaar, Umati is such a good character and all. And I never knew that Hafiz is coming my way, so I'm so glad that it happened. But like none of them knows right now that I was initially casted for Ummati and eventually I turned into Hafiz.
Cheater.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు యాక్టింగ్ కి రాకముందుకు ఏమైనా క్లాసెస్ అలాంటివి వెళ్ళారా?
సో బేసికలీ మేము నలుగురం థియేటర్ గ్రూప్ అనమాట, లైక్ థియేటర్స్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం బయట. సో అలా మాకు ఆపర్చునిటీస్ వస్తున్నాయి.
అలా ఆపర్చునిటీ. సో మీరు వెళ్ళక ముందు తెలుసా నార్మల్ గా ఈ మూవీలో ఇలా ఈ టెర్రరిస్ట్ గా వస్తుంది ఆపర్చునిటీ అని మీకు ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా?
నో, వి నెవర్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్.
ఓకే, అలా మీరు సెలెక్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళు చెప్పుంటారు కదా మీ క్యారెక్టర్ వచ్చేసి టెర్రరిస్ట్ అని. సో మీరు ఎలా ఫీల్ అయ్యారు? హౌ యూ విల్ ఫీల్?
See, end of the day, as an actor, whatever role comes our way, if there is the scope of performing, మంచి క్యారెక్టర్ ఉండి ఆ పర్ఫామ్ చేసే స్కోప్ ఉంది అంటే whatever character it might be, our job is to justify ourselves. So we have done all the hard work we can, and oka 1.5 month preparation ayindi before we went to the shoot, and I still remember on the way to Kurnool, a car lo veltunappudu he was the only one who was doing the whole research behind the 26/11 attacks and సందీప్ సర్స్ లైఫ్ అండ్ టెర్రరిస్ట్స్ ఎలా వచ్చారు, ఎవరెవరు ఎలా ఉన్నారు, అదంతా he had done his research and he was actually telling us everything. So probably that was one of the things as well which helped us prepare very well for our characters.
సో అంత ముందుకు మీకు మేజర్ సందీప్ గురించి అవగాహన లేదు, బట్ మీ క్యారెక్టర్ ఎప్పుడైతే వచ్చిందో మీరు స్టడీ చేయడం మొదలు పెట్టారు.
కరెక్ట్. we knew a little.
మేజర్ సందీప్ ఉన్నికృష్ణన్ గారి గురించి we knew, but then ఈ క్యారెక్టర్స్ like ఇప్పుడు మనకు 26/11 అటాక్ అంటే the first foremost character that we get in the head is Kasab.
Correct.
But there were 8 or 9 other terrorists who came to India according to what happened. So ఆ 8 to 9 people ఏం చేశారో వాళ్ళ థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏంటిదో ఎవరికి తెలియదు. ఉట్టి కసాబ్ గురించి తెలుసు ఎందుకంటే తను ఒక్కడే అరెస్ట్ అయ్యాడు కదా. Then we had to dig deep, who were these guys, what were these characters, what was their background. So then we created our own stuff. That's when we started working on it, and it took us a bit of time, and then luckily we all came together in such a good way that we helped each other in terms of growing, in terms of performance. And when the output came out, I mean, you're the judge for that.
And I think in the whole process we also learnt a lot about Major Sandeep sir's life as well. And before that we knew about him, we knew that he was one of the martyrs, our 26/11 attacks law, but we did not really know much about his life. But now, obviously, after doing the film and being so close to the story, being on the sets, during the filmmaking and all, we probably know a lot more.
Correct.
Okay, so shooting time లోనే రిలీజ్ డేట్ రాకముందుకి చాలా థాట్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, అందులోనూ ఫస్ట్ మూవీ మీకు ఇది. సో ఆ ఎక్సైటింగ్ ఎలా ఉండే మీకు?
We were probably very, very excited. అంటే 24th May నుంచి they had these pre-release screenings and they were doing it in Pune, they were doing it in Jaipur, Ahmedabad, and we were all sitting here in Hyderabad thinking that people from other cities are watching before we watched it. So we don't know మేము ఏం చేసాము, అవుట్పుట్ ఎలా వచ్చింది ఏంటి, we have no idea. And all these other people from Pune, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, everybody is watching and they're like shouting and screaming, and the kind of feedbacks we were getting from friends we have in other cities, adi vintunte maaku a excitement and at the same time the nervousness, it was growing, that second వచ్చేస్తుంది, third వచ్చేస్తుంది, వెళ్ళి చూడాలి, మేము ఎలా చేసామో మా కళ్ళతో మేము చూడాలా. బట్ one thing for me, to be honest, the first time when I watched on the premiere, I was particularly more focused on how we have portrayed Sandeep sir's life more than how we have acted in the movie.
Correct.
నా ఫోకస్ మొత్తం అంతా సందీప్ సార్ లైఫ్ని ఎలా చూపించాం అని అదొక్కటే ఉండే నా మైండ్లో. అండ్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫిల్మ్ ఐ పర్సనలీ థాట్ చాలా అందంగా చూపించారు ఆయన లైఫ్ని. అంటే దిస్ ప్రాబబ్లీ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ దట్ వర్ మిస్డ్ అవుట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ the duration as well.
Technically, they were not missed out. A lot of things were short, but it was not enough time so that they put it in the film. ఇప్పుడు 2 గంటల 30 నిమిషాల సినిమాలో అంత పెద్ద స్టోరీ వేయడం చాలా కష్టం అని.
Actually 3 hours పైన వచ్చింది మూవీ, సో దే కట్ డౌన్ ద మూవీ అండ్
సో అందువల్ల there were a lot of shots of Sandeep sir's life which they had to cut it down and make it as short as possible.
కరోనా పాండమిక్ టైంలో మీరు షూట్ ని
I was waiting for this question. Okay. Yes.
ఏంటిది?
you will manage
This is your answer then.
So yes. So I think Corona lockdown was a blessing in disguise for me because I have a tendency of preparation for my characters. So like they said, I was reading and I was researching. So in that lockdown, when I realized that it's going to extend for a couple of months, I started reading more about different techniques of acting in front of camera, because from theater you have to perform in front of audience, right? You're in a dark room and then lights are off and you're on your stage doing your own stuff. But in camera you have retakes, you have different angles. There's something more technical about it. So I started reading and preparing more about it. And I was informed that there's an action sequence to be done with Sesh, and so you have to be at the best of your game. So physical training and acting, I started working on myself. So entire day was going into the preparation, and while prepping up I realized the agony and the hard work these terrorists go through. So one thought that came to my mind when I was preparing for this character during lockdown was that maybe he's an antagonist in the movie. This character might turn out to be the antagonist, but this guy was doing the most heroic thing he was doing.
For his
for his school of thought, from his point of view, I realized that he's doing one of the best things his seniors have given him. So I started feeling that I am the protagonist and Sesh is the antagonist for my own character preparation. That's where the combat happened, and that came out beautifully, because I never felt the antagonist while playing. Although when Gaurav watches Hafiz, I know he's a bad guy. But when I'm playing that guy, I know he's doing the best because I am doing it.
Yeah.
So that was my thought, and that came during the COVID period.
That's how the story, the character arc is built.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yes.
And you build your own character.
మూవీ రిలీజ్ డేట్ తర్వాత కూడా డిలే అయిపోయింది కదా, ఆ టైంలో ఇంకా మీ రియాక్షన్ ఎలా ఉంది?
అయితే
అది ఐ థింక్ సాయి చెప్పగలరు.
సో ఇది మా ఫస్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. బేసిక్గా ఫస్ట్ లాక్డౌన్ ముందు మేము ఆల్రెడీ షూట్ చేసాం అనమాట, ముంబైలో కానీ ఇక్కడ కానీ షూట్ చేసిన తర్వాత లాక్డౌన్ ఉన్నారు. పీపుల్ ఆర్ షాక్, ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లాక్డౌన్ వచ్చింది. దానికంటే బిఫోర్ నుంచి వీఆర్ ట్రైయింగ్ ఇన్ మూవీస్. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఎలా ఉంటుంది ఫీల్, కొంచెం సాడ్ ఉంటుంది. సో దాని తర్వాత ఇక మళ్ళీ లాక్డౌన్ తర్వాత మళ్ళీ షూట్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. అగైన్ వీఆర్ హ్యాపీ, అందరం కలిసాం. లాక్డౌన్లో ఎవ్రీడే ర్యాపిడ్ టెస్ట్లు ఉంటాయి, ఎవ్రీడే ఆస్క్ దెమ్, ఎవ్రీడే ర్యాపిడ్ టెస్ట్. స్టిల్
పెద్ద బాధ ఉండేది అప్పుడు,
చాలా నష్టం.
డైలీ పొద్దున వచ్చి ఒక బుక్ కొట్టి
ర్యాపిడ్ బ్లడ్ టెస్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఎవ్రీడే టెస్ట్ చేయడం, షూట్ చేయడం, టెస్ట్ చేయడం, షూట్ చేయడం. అండ్ ఆర్ఎఫ్సీలో ఎవ్రీడే 12 to 13 hours స్పెండ్ చేయడం సెట్స్లో.
సో సెట్స్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మీ వర్క్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఎలా ఉంది?
I think the most exciting part was when we were working on the sets of Taj interior section shoot ఎప్పుడైతే స్టార్ట్ అయిందో, yes, in Ramoji Film City. So that was the most exciting part actually,
schedule
because that's where the whole action sequences started. So
I remember this part wherein రేపటి నుంచి షూట్ ఉందంటే we were in Ramoji Film City ఈ రోజు. So one day before the shoot everybody was staying at Ramoji Film City. Me and Rocky Bhai around at 12:30 or something, డిన్నర్ అయిన తర్వాత మాకు నిద్ర వస్తలేదు, ఏం చేద్దామని బయటకు వచ్చి ఇటాట తిరుగుతుంటే we met Rajiv, executive producer, and he was going to the set. He was like, hey, you guys want to join and come down to the set and see that? I was like, okay, let's go. సెట్కి వెళ్ళాము. అండ్ బిఎస్ఎఫ్ హాల్లో కాల్ పెట్టంగానే బయట నుంచి సెట్ ఓకే 3 floors ఉన్నాయి, కానీ సెట్ లోపల అడుగు పెట్టంగానే ఫ్యూజులు ఎగిరిపోయాయి మాది.
So the set was so beautiful.
It was the exact replica. ఇలా కాపీ చేసి ఇలా పేస్ట్ చేశారు తాజ్
హోటల్.
And that was the most amazing
and
part
that day we recorded a video of 15-20 minutes just to appreciate the people who worked behind
amazing.
creating the set. set director, art director, వీళ్ళందరూ plus the people who worked in order to build the set, and the set was there for 6 months.
Yes.
6 months వరకు యూజువల్గా షూటింగ్ అయిపోగానే సెట్ తీసేస్తారు, బట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద పాండమిక్ దే డిడ్ నాట్ రిమూవ్ ద సెట్ బికాస్ వీ హ్యాడ్ ద షూట్ పెండింగ్. అండ్ 6 months తర్వాత కూడా వచ్చి షూట్ చేస్తుంటే ద సెట్ వాజ్ స్టిల్ స్ట్రాంగ్.
Absolutely.
అండ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ స్టాండింగ్. లవ్ ద వర్క్ డన్ బిహైండ్ ఇట్.
సో దేశమంతా కూడా మేజర్ మూవీ చూసాక చాలా ఎమోషనల్ అయ్యారు అండ్ దే లవ్ ద ఫిలిం. హౌ డస్ ఇట్ ఫీల్?
మా మీద బాగా కోపపడ్డారు,
మమ్మల్ని తిట్టుకున్నారు కదా.
మమ్మల్ని అందరు బాగా తిట్టుకున్నారు. సో I had one feedback. Actually, one of my friends who stays in Delhi, he watched the pre-release screening akkada. I think it happened on the 30th of May. So I spoke to him next day to get the feedback. So he told me, అరే నేను ఢిల్లీలో స్క్రీనింగ్కి వెళ్ళినా కానీ నా చుట్టుపక్కల అందరూ చూసే వాళ్ళందరూ మ్యాక్సిమం తెలుగు క్రౌడ్ ఉన్నారు. అండ్ ఎవ్రీబడి, స్పెషలీ హిస్ బ్యాక్ రో, దే వర్ సేయింగ్ ఇట్ సీమ్స్, అరే వీడేంట్రా అసలు ఇన్ని బుల్లెట్స్ తగిలిన తర్వాత కూడా చావట్లేదేంట్రా అని తిట్టుకుంటున్నారంట. And then when my character died in the blast, everybody started screaming like, you know, okay, now the battle is won and jeppesi. So, you know, listening to those things, I felt very happy and very proud.
The other day when I took my family to watch the film, and my best friend's dad, okay, he's a professor, he's a PhD in English Lit, and half of what I learned in terms of the language English is from him, I would say. And the rest was my uncle and my teachers. But then this person, okay, he's like one of these people in my life. వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి నేను రివ్యూ అడుగుతాను, ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అడుగుతాను, ఎలా వచ్చింది, మీకు ఏదైనా పార్ట్ ఉంది విచ్ యూ డెంట్ లైక్, ప్లీజ్ గివ్ మీ ద ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ సో దట్ ఐ కెన్ వర్క్ ఆన్ మై సెల్ఫ్ యాజ్ అన్ యాక్టర్. అండ్ ద షో చూసిన తర్వాత 2 hours తర్వాత we were going out for dinner, all the friends and all, and uncle called me up and he's like, अरे मेरे को अगर नहीं मालूम रहता था ना कि तू फिल्म में है तो मैं स्टेज पे चढ़ के थप्पड़ मारता तेरे को. लाइक अंकल ఎందుకు? भाई what happened? He's like, if I didn't know it was you in the film, if you were somebody unknown to me, I would have climbed the stage and slapped you in the face. I'm like, why? You have done such a brilliant job, all of you guys.
The slap was a reward.
No, I think that was also particularly because you killed a dog.
You killed a dog.
Oh my god,
You shot a
enough
dog.
with the dog. So many people are still stuck to that.
Brutal you are.
Brutal. Absolutely.
Yeah, even that sequence, okay, dog sequence was first Hafiz Nadgaru.
He was supposed to do it.
Shashi garu ma director garu vachi, Gaurav, dog ni చంపాలి సార్, ఏం చేయలేను సార్. దాని తర్వాత హర్షిత్ని ఉమ్మతిని అడిగారు, హర్షిత్ చేస్తావా సార్? నేను చేయలేను సార్, నా వల్ల కాదు సార్, కుక్కని చెప్పడం నాలాగా. దెన్ ఐ వాజ్ సిట్టింగ్ దేర్ ఆరామ్సే. శశి గారు వచ్చారు, శశి గారు వచ్చి, హనీ డాగ్ కో మారనా హై, బ్లైండ్ మ్యాన్ కో మారనా హై, గన్ తీసుకొని లెట్స్ గో. ఐ వాక్డ్ ఇన్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీబడి హూ సీన్ ద ఫిల్మ్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ దే కాల్ మీ అప్, అరే యార్, ఈవెన్ మై గ్రాండ్ మదర్ సా ద ఫిల్మ్, అరే కుత్తే को नहीं मारना था रे. What did the dog do?
Let me tell you, he's a dog lover.
I have a dog.
We are all animal lovers, and he's a dog lover as well. But he currently a scene I could not do it.
రియల్ గా డాగ్ ని
రియల్ గా చంపలేదు,
Not real. Come on.
You have to kill in the screen on.
ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆబ్వియస్లీ అదంతా రియలిస్టిక్ గా ఉంటుంది కదా. చూసిన వాళ్ళందరూ ఒకటే మాటారే, నువ్వు కుక్కని ఎందుకు చంపినవరా? నేను చంపలేదు, అది సీన్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్, అది క్యారెక్టర్ చేయదలుచుకుంది, డైరెక్టర్ గారు చెప్పింది, చేస్తాను అంతే.
So the thing is, such scenes being in the film, basically the reason behind this is for people to understand that
How brutal these
this
people
character is a terrorist, and he is very, very brutal. He's not looking at who's blind, who's pregnant, who's a kid, who's a dog. He has nothing to do with that.
It's their job.
That's it. So
It's not their job, it's like
they're trained for it.
Yeah, they're trained for it, and end of the day, doing that is something of what do you call that? Something given by the God, according to them, as far as we understood.
చేయాలంటే కూడా మీరు మళ్ళీ దాన్ని ట్రైన్ అవ్వాలి కదా, ఆ టైంలో అలా ఎఫర్ట్స్ అదంతా చేస్తే
That's the kind of preparation.
చూపడం అంటే ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఈజీ.
That's the kind of preparation we had 1.5 month gaani, and then even after the pandemic
పాండమిక్
breaks
లో
and
కూడా
all.
బ్రేక్స్ లో వీ హ్యాడ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ అవర్ సెల్స్, ఎందుకంటే
So-
ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ ఆ ఫ్లో కట్ అయితే దెన్ వీ వుడ్ నాట్ డూ జస్టిస్ టు ద క్యారెక్టర్. సో ద కంప్లీట్ 2 years, 2.5 years which we were a part of the project, all of us during our break times we used to call each other up and discuss the characters here
Actually,
and there.
it did become very difficult for us. Ante pandemic tarvata, it did become very difficult for us coming back to the sets and carrying that character again after a gap of 3-4 months. You know, you just completely come out of the character. Malli a character ni build cheyadam ante చాలా ఇబ్బంది అవుతుంది. సో పర్టికులర్లీ నాకు ఒక
But I would
ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్.
say hats off to Shashi Anna and Shesh Anna.
Absolutely.
They, no matter how long it took and no matter how much time we had a gap in between the shoots,
They understood.
always
They understood.
pushed us in a way wherein we could pull it off better. ఇప్పుడు మేము 1 తీసుకొస్తే వాళ్ళు దాన్ని 10 చేశారు, అలా పుష్ చేశారు. మేము 10 తీసుకుంటే దాన్ని 100 చేశారు.
I have to give it to this. Like
Absolutely.
Shashi sir, I remember there was a take which they said, I think it's working, and everyone was looking, the ADs, Shesh, everyone on set. And I was looking at the monitor and I had this thing in my eye, sir, I want to do it better. So he just looked at me in the end and he looked at me and, you want to do it once again? I said, yes sir. Where is it? And he said, go, let's go and take one more shot. I was so happy that, you know, a director at this level is believing in my, my capabilities, and he's giving me another opportunity to perform once more. Like that was, a boosting confidence for me. And
Even during the fight sequence we had the same thing.
Yeah.
The table breaking, him
we
being
had
thrown
5 to
over.
6 tables just in case if we don't give one take properly, we'll have another take. So they had like all the preps done, and they gave us enough room to perform as better as we can.
ఓకే. అండ్ తర్వాత ఫ్యామిలీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అలా మూవీ చూసిన తర్వాత టెర్రరిస్ట్గా ఎందుకు చేసావు అన్నట్టుగా చూసారా, లేదా యాక్టింగ్ ఎలా చేశారు అన్నట్టుగా చూసారా?
రెండును.
ఎలాంటి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ మీరు రిసీవ్ చేస్తున్నారు?
So mostly our family is like an army background, and chala mandi are into the army, navy and air force. So my granny's family is into that, and granny's first reaction, hey chi విలన్ ఏంటి, అది కూడా టెర్రరిస్ట్ చేస్తావా, సిగ్గులేదా నీకు? లైక్ అది క్యారెక్టర్ అమ్మమ్మ. ఇట్ లైక్ నో फैमिली से क्या मतलब पूछ रहे हैं कि फैमिली को पसंद आया, उन लोगों ने कैरेक्टर तुमने ऐसा किया, ऐसा करना चाहिए था, ये बोला, या कि कैरेक्टर अच्छा नहीं किया, नेगेटिव क्यों किया, ये सवाल किया.
ऐसा कोई फैमिली, there's no family which will say that my son or my daughter has not performed well in the movie. But honestly speaking, what was surprising was, my mom went into the theater with a great excitement. That's my son's movie and he's performing, he's acting and all. And the first shot where I killed the receptionist, my mom was watching like this and the reaction was I was like, this disgusting reaction.
My granny had the same expression.
The first thing was, and she looked at me with that disgust, and I was like, Mom, that's only acting. I haven't killed anyone for real. So that was, like, for me, I never experienced such reactions. And then there was a plethora of phone calls from friends who watched the movie, relatives. And we had that WhatsApp group where we kept sharing, dude, somebody liked your performance. So we are still in that zone of, appreciating each other, that we liked each other's performances, and how the feedbacks are floating in. I think it's 3 years of hard work, director's vision, Shesh's hard work. We as actors gave whatever we could, and the audience is loving it.
Honestly, Chapalante, this project, it bloomed and grew like a tree. So it was planted like a seed wherein nobody knew what was happening on day one, and on the final day we were looking at it and this was this beautiful tree with this beautiful
just collateral effort from right from AD to every person, every single soul on set.
Everybody, even the guys who built the set, everybody that has put in the labor work, everybody that has probably done the lighting work, every person
attached
every
with
person.
the set. The second set we slept on the set.
Oh yes,
What
we
you
did.
learned from this movie?
Too much.
Plenty.
Quite a lot. We can't discuss that in just a video, I would say.
Because అంటే being from the theater stuff
We
and
are
all.
used to such sounds from the movie.
Yes.
This is common for us now.
So being from the theater,
Like one of our cousins is doing something on it.
game altogether. So you need to know where your camera is. You need to know where which side of your profile looks good, and you need to have that minute detail. When to turn around, when not to turn around, when to speak, when not to speak, when to pause, when not to pause, and all these things are very, very important when you are acting in front of the camera. Theater is completely different. So aparanga, and then director's point of view lo, I think Sashi garu, I can say he's probably more of a teacher. Ante I had one of the best teachers I've ever had in my life was my English teacher. So she used to make English so interesting that I have never seen anybody else make English subject so interesting. So alagane Sashi garu oka chinna scene, oka chinna scenario, oka chinna shot aina gaani he would come up to you and tell you ఈ సీన్ ముందు ఏం జరిగింది, ఈ సీన్ తర్వాత ఏం జరగబోతుంది, సో ఈ సీన్ లో పర్టికులర్ గా ఇది ఎందుకు ఇలా జరగాల. సో హీల్ ఫీడ్ యూ ఎవ్రీ మినిట్ డీటెయిల్. సో
చెప్పి దాన్ని ఒక కిచిడీలా తయారు చేసి తినబెట్టడం, చిన్న పిల్లలకి తినబెడతారు కదా సెర్లాక్.
Yeah. So he used to do that. So that is probably one of the biggest learning that when you have such a fabulous director on the set who can explain to you every little detail possible, then మనం పర్ఫామ్ చేసేది మనము ఒక 5 రేంజ్లో పర్ఫామ్ చేయగలుగుతాము అనుకుంటే, అలా డీటెయిల్స్ దొరికినప్పుడు మనం ఒక 50 రేంజ్లో పర్ఫామ్ చేయగలుగుతాం. సో దాట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద బిగ్గెస్ట్ లెర్నింగ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ వర్కింగ్ విత్ దిస్ టీమ్.
డామినేట్ చేసేలాగా ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా? శశి గారు కానీ అలా?
Both are dominant in their own way. అంటే
I wouldn't say dominant, but they are like this good cop, bad cop. They sync and play around so well, and everything falls in place because of their vision. Their
two great openers of a cricket team.
Absolutely.
Correct.
They are. So Seshanna is like he brings in, he's the powerhouse of energy and inspiring people, and let's do this, let's do that, full of energy. Idi kadra inka better cheyochu, blah blah blah.
And he's so focused.
He's very focused and very loud. And then when it comes to Sashi garu, he's very calm.
He's composed.
He's very calm and composed, like MS Dhoni. Very calm and composed.
We had Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni.
Yes, absolutely. We had Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni.
ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు బాగా క్రువాలిటీగా చూపించాలి. సో మీరు ఆ రీచ్ కి అవ్వలేకపోతున్నారు అనుకో, ఆయన వస్తారు ఇలా కాదు, సో నువ్వు ఇంకా ఇలా చేయాలి, ఐ లైక్ దిస్, ఇది చేయి బాగుంది, యా ఓకే రెడీ. సో హీ ఈజ్ లైక్ దట్ అనమాట. శేషన్న ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్. సాయి నుంచో ఇలాగెళ్ళు, కమాన్ షార్ట్, ఓకే.
అలా చెప్పినప్పుడు మీ మనసులో
నో వీ డోంట్ ఫీల్ ఎనీ బ్యాడ్, అంటే చాలా ప్రౌడ్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఆ రేంజ్ యాక్టర్స్ మాకు అసలు చెప్పకూడదు. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్, బట్ దే విల్ సపోర్ట్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ వన్.
Absolutely. They have helped us every little possible way they can.
I think somewhere we all believed one thing: if we were not casted, someone else would have done this role. So if we are given the opportunity, it's our
We should make the best of it.
We should make sure that we are giving our best, and we are giving what the movie requires.
And we should justify,
we should justify
our existence in the project.
If we are selected, it should be justified at the end of the day, and I feel somewhere we could achieve it.
Yeah, because of all those abuses from people, we felt that.
I have received, so this is a great incident which happened recently. I was watching a movie in theatre with some of my friends, and before the first half, during the intermission, people recognized that I am inside the theatre. So second half turned out to be that whenever Shesh was, hitting me, or there was a scene where I've been hit badly, or I'm bleeding, any action sequence or something, there were comments floating in from
inside the theatre.
Yeah. So if Shesh was beating me and I fell down on the floor, so the first comment was, "Lagi to nahi, kamar to theek hai." So these things kept coming in, and in the end, when I come back again, if you've seen the climax, there was somebody shouting at the top of his voice, "Marta kyun nahi hai tu lal t-shirt?" So these are like, for me, it was a reward. I took that jib in a very healthy way, and so this is coming in. We never expected
ఎస్పెషల్లీ ప్రీమియర్ రోజు కూడా మేము షో అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆ రోజు నైట్ ఏఎంబీలోంచి బయటకు వస్తుంటే పీపుల్ ఆర్ వాచింగ్ సీరియస్లీ.
They were giving us such cruel looks.
Deadly looks.
They are seriously అంటే మమ్మల్ని బయటకు వచ్చి కొడతారా అన్నట్టు ఠాకూర్ అప్పటికన్నారు, ఐ విల్ కవర్ మై ఫేస్. సో దే ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్, మీరే కదా టెర్రరిస్ట్ వర్క్ చేసింది, చాలా కోపం వస్తుంది మీ మీద. People are.
Oh, I remember AMB lo uncle. Okay, he was this short, bald guy.
Specs guy.
అపరిచితుడు అయిపోయాడు వాడు.
Kept darting at us. You guys only acted in terrorism. Okay. He's left.
Then his wife came and she was like, "You have done an amazing job. God bless you. You're like my kids."
Everybody actually, all the elder people, they did show the anger as well, but at the same time they gave us their blessings as well. They appreciated our work and they were like, చాలా బాగా పని చేశారు, ఇలాగనే చేయండి అని చెప్పేసి చాలా అప్రిషియేట్ చేశారు. సో that was one of the happiest moments for us, coming through not the filmy background and all, and our first project itself getting a lot of appreciation from not just our team that we worked with, but from the audience as well that watched it for the first time. The kind of appreciation we have received, I think we are very, very thankful for being a part of this epic film, I would say.
సో ఫైనల్లీ మూవీని మంచి సక్సెస్ రేట్ కి తీసుకొచ్చారు అన్నమాట. ఈ మూవీ అయిపోయాక, సక్సెస్ అయ్యాక నెక్స్ట్ ఏమైనా ఛాన్సెస్ వస్తున్నాయా వేరే మూవీస్ లో యాక్ట్ చేయడానికి?
I think Sai has already done one project, Dulquer Salman.
అను సార్ డైరెక్షన్ లో ఒక మూవీ వస్తుంది. మూవీ నేమ్ సీతారామ. అందులో ఆర్మీ రోల్.
I've done the Amazon web series Annapurna nunchi. It's called Vyuham. దాంట్లో కూడా again I'm playing a terrorist, but then it's a complete contrast of what I played in Major. So Major lo it was all about killing for me. It's all about ending them.
Bro, it's a promotion, not a.
It's all about ending them in Major. In this web series, it's all about how I want to save it, how I want to save people, how I want to save my country, being a terrorist.
Don't worry. What if?
Please look at us and cast us.
Yes, please.
సో మీలో ఎక్కువ ఎవరు ఫన్నీగా ఉంటారు?
He's probably one of the funniest guys. Ante especially what he does those things on the phone calls. Ante I can tell you one incident where we were in RFC and opposite set lo Prabhas gar movie jarugutundi. So he started enacting that on the phone as if he's a best friend of Prabhas, and he's talking so loud and so wonderfully that everybody around us started laughing. So he probably does those funny things, and he's probably one of the funniest guys.
I'll take that.
అంటే ఎవరు మరి ఎక్కువ లేజీగా ఉండడం?
He's missing right now.
He's missing right
The
now.
laziest person on the set is sleeping right now.
There's only one person we can think of.
Please name.
Harshit Maheshwari.
We love you, bro. But
Yes, we do love you.
But we have to do this to you now.
yes. So he
he's-
was one such guy. Like if there's 10 minutes before the rolling, before the shot start, you won't find him. You literally have to search for him.
షార్ట్ ఇలా రోల్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే హర్షిత్ సార్ అక్కడ పండుకొని ఉన్నాడు సార్.
Sometimes you'll
Shot
find him
ready,
sleeping in a sofa. He can sleep while standing.
Yeah, I remember him sleeping.
He can sleep on the makeup chair.
Everywhere.
But then
You literally have to find him.
But then I think that probably helped him in building his character as well,
the
because his character was one of those where he's
zoned out.
always on drugs and all, and he's one of those psycho characters. So Adi, I think sleeping habit edaithe undo,
It came in during because of that.
it helped him.
He used to
actually.
sleep to get into the character.
Yes.
The laziest, Harshit.
సో బాగా క్రేజియస్ట్ పర్సన్ ఎవరు మీలో?
He is the one. He is the one.
What did I do?
He does all the crazy things.
He can fight with the junior artist. If the ADs are not giving the instructions properly, Thakur will step in. He can do any crazy shit.
What did I even do?
If the gun is not proper, Thakur will lift up another gun belonging to any other artist. Thakur can do anything. You have to be very careful. If Thakur is doing something crazy, you have to be very, watchful.
Especially when he's, riding his bike and.
Oh, are we supposed to say that? I want to share this. So one day after Ramoji, we had an extended shoot. So I said I'll go back to the hotel room and I'll sleep. I don't want to stay in Ramoji on set. I'll come back tomorrow. So he said, why are you booking cab? I'll drop you on my bike. That day until date, I've never sat on a bike with him.
Yeah, what did you say? I have to reach early.
I said I have to reach early, but I didn't have to reach early up there. I had to reach early to my hotel.
But did you reach? Did you reach there safe?
I did, but I
And
missed
fast?
so many heartbeats that day. I almost saw, Yamraj couple of times on that ride.
Fine. What about the car drive?
Huh?
Why were you scared during the drive?
Because
Rocky Bhai's car.
if there are two cars, which sane driver will ride between the two cars on a bike and
Any sane driver, if it is
no,
a 3
that's
lane.
not sanity. That's insanity. You were still in character then. So yeah, but jokes apart, he's a great rider, and but don't sit as a pilot rider with him. Suggestion to everyone.
Suggestion to people who are scared of riding.
Yeah.
You are scared of riding.
Normal people are. You are not
Normal people are not scared of riding.
Normal people
You are scared of riding.
You are Javed, you are not normal.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, repo. So, the crazy guy.
మూవీ తర్వాత ఎవరికి అమ్మాయిల ఫాలోయింగ్ ఎక్కువ స్టార్ట్ అయింది?
What is the question?
मूवी के बाद किसको लड़कियों की फॉलोइंग ज्यादा हुई? ये मूवी से पहले ही था.
मूवी से पहले भी और मूवी के बाद में भी.
हाँ,
So he's
हुए थे कुछ कारनामे.
I don't want to answer anything like that because
Before movie, he used to run behind girls. After movie, girls are running away from him.
I've kept people to answer this question.
No, running away from him.
I got calls from my friends and my school friends, my college friends, and they were amazed because I was a corporate guy. I was working in corporate and doing theatre in parallel to it. But nobody knew that I had left, job and I was full time into acting and I was, auditioning for roles. So yeah, I got calls from my friends, but
we are proud of you.
thank you. Next question. Next question.
How many people have blocked us after watching the film?
I have no idea.
Nobody.
We're not sure. How will
యాక్షన్ సీక్వెన్సెస్ చాలా ఇంటెన్స్ గా ఉన్నాయి కదా, సో వాటిని చేయడానికి మీరు ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యారు, ఎంత కష్టపడ్డారు?
అది దాని గురించి చెప్పాలంటే ఓకే, సో నాట్ షూర్ అబౌట్ ది అదర్స్, బట్ ఐ హావ్ బిన్ అ మార్షల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఫర్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 10 years, 15 years. 2000 నుంచి నేను మార్షల్ ఆర్ట్స్లో ఉన్నాను. ఐ హావ్ డన్ karate, I've done 3 styles in karate, and then kickboxing, Muay Thai. As of now, I train weapons and stuff. So martial arts has been a part of my life. So action, I would say, body flow lone undadi. And also, I think Gaurav, you were trained in martial arts.
I have been trained in boxing majorly, and so I kept training all this while, even before the movie came in. So my fitness regime had all these mixed martial art training and all. So, and I think hats off to the fight masters. They spent like 8 hours a day training us, and Shesh and I, if you talk about the first fight sequence, I think Shesh and I used to practice for about 12 hours for 15 days. We practiced to make this perfect. And to top it all, it was summers, month of August. Lockdown, the bans were just lifted for the movies to shoot, and we shot in Taj Krishna in Hyderabad, and that lounge area, that corridor, did not have any air conditioning working that time because the hotels were not working. So we had to shoot, and we were drenched in sweat, 12 hours of practice. But the only thing that Shesh and I kept telling each other was, no matter how painful or how hard it is, the scene has to come out beautiful. So that was the only thought, and we kept practicing, and I think it's one of the most talked about scene in the movie. Like, it's one of my favorites as well.
సో నేనైతే బేసిక్గా ఎందులో ట్రైన్ అవ్వలేదు, బట్ యాక్షన్ సీక్వెన్స్ కూడా నాకు తక్కువ ఉన్నాయి, ఓన్లీ కిల్లింగ్ పార్ట్. అండ్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ 5th floor నుంచి నన్ను నేలడదీస్తారన్నమాట. దట్ ఈస్ ద టఫెస్ట్ పార్ట్.
Please tell about what happened to your bumps in that.
సో ఫస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయించారన్నమాట. ముంబై నుంచి స్టంట్ మాస్టర్స్ వచ్చారు, దే స్టార్ట్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్. సో ఫస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసిన టైంలో వాళ్ళు జర్క్ అనేది ఏం లేదు, బాడీ యాజ్ యూజువల్ గా వస్తుంది, లిఫ్ట్ అయ్యి ఏలాడుతుంది. సో దే ఆల్రెడీ వెల్ ట్రైన్డ్. సో నా దగ్గరికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత నన్ను అడిగారు అనమాట, నువ్వు చేస్తావా అని. శేష్ అన్న కూడా అడిగారు. సో నువ్వు చేస్తావు సార్, కాన్ఫిడెంట్, నో ప్రాబ్లం అన్నా చేస్తాను అంటే మనకేముంటుంది, ఫస్ట్ మూవీ కదా, సో స్టంట్ మ్యాన్ ఎందుకు, మనం చేద్దాం డైరెక్ట్గా. సో దెన్ నేను పైకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత దే స్టార్ట్ యాక్షన్ పార్ట్లో
ట్రయల్ చేశారు. ట్రయల్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వాజ్ ఫైన్. దాని నెక్స్ట్ డే షూట్ ఉంది అండ్ బాంబే నుంచి వచ్చిన మాస్టర్ వెళ్ళిపోయారు అండ్ దెన్ సెకండ్ డే షూట్ లో టెల్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్.
సో నన్ను వేలాడి తీసిన తర్వాత ఒక బాడీ కిందకి పడాలన్నమాట. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ షూటింగ్ మీ. సో కిందకి పడినప్పుడు వదిలేస్తారు కదా తాడు, వదిలినప్పుడు కిందకి వచ్చేసరికి మళ్ళీ దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ జర్క్ అనమాట. బాడీ ఇలా వస్తూ ఐ హావ్ టు డూ జర్క్. దెన్ మై బోన్స్ ఆర్
sound kya tha?
Bones was
Bones is not the right word. Where did the crack happen?
Okay, I'll tell you. Wait. So the first day, Rod Master set everything up. Everything was fine. Corridor nunchi about 3 feet దూరంలో rope కట్టారు. తన్ని ఎక్కించి టెస్ట్ కూడా చేశారు. Everything is fine. ఆ డ్రాప్ కూడా ప్రాపర్ గా వచ్చింది. సెకండ్ డే రాడ్ మాస్టర్ లేరు, మన హైదరాబాద్ స్టంట్ మాస్టర్స్ వాళ్ళు వచ్చారు. వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారు, ఆ 3 feet డిఫరెన్స్ ని తీసి 2.5 feet చేశారు వాళ్ళు. అప్పుడు దీన్ని ఎక్కించి దాన్ని నన్ను డ్రాప్ చేస్తే కారిడోర్ కి దడ అని 3 సార్లు గుద్దుకున్నాడు పాపం. గుద్దుకొని చెప్పాలి కదా, లేదు నేను ఫస్ట్ టైం స్టంట్ చేస్తున్నా, నేను గమ్మున ఉంటానని. ఫస్ట్ టైం పడ్డాడు, సెకండ్ టైం పడ్డాడు. దాని తర్వాత నోటీస్ చేసి తప్పిన తర్వాత తనని కిందికి దింపితే కాలు పనిచేస్తలేదు తనకి.
కాల్ వర్క్ చేయలేదు. కింద పడేసరికి లైక్ అయిపోయినాయి. ఒక 2-3 minutes
నంబ్ అయిపోయాయి.
His costume, the jeans were the trousers were 32 in waist. After that shot, it turned out to be 34.
38.
The swelling was in the wrong part, and we had to get nothing.
So with me, I was a student of Kung Fu. I used to maintain, very little physical activities
Master
and stuff.
Shifu.
Very little physical activities and stuff. And then when it came to the action parts, yes, definitely couple of things I had to prepare very well. One was the blast scene. Obviously, we had like 4 hours of training for that before the shoot day. And on the shoot day, my shot got delayed actually. ఆ టైంలో శోభిత గారి షాట్ నడుస్తుంది అండ్ ఇట్ వాజంట్ ప్రాబబ్లీ కమింగ్ ఆఫ్ రైట్ అండ్ దే హ్యాడ్ టు ఎక్స్టెండ్ దట్ పార్ట్ అండ్ దెన్ వీ వర్ లెఫ్ట్ విత్ వాట్ సమ్వేర్ అరౌండ్ 45 minutes to 1 hour ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది డే. షూట్ ప్యాకప్ చేయాలి, ఆ ప్యాకప్ అయ్యే లోపు నా షాట్ ఫినిష్ చేసేయాలి, అంత పెద్ద షాట్. సో somehow God's grace and everybody else that was behind me with the harnessing and all, they did a fabulous job and ఒక 45 minutes లో we finished the shot. But one incident was అంత అయిపోయిన తర్వాత లాస్ట్ షాట్ శశి గారు రిక్వెస్టెడ్ యాక్చువల్లీ. అంత అయిన తర్వాత శశి గారు రిక్వెస్టెడ్. సో హీ సెడ్, Rocky, I need one more shot ra. Isari I want to keep all the 3 cameras in 3 different angles. Will you be able to do it? I said okay, I'm fine with it. So this was the last shot. Now I can't even say no. So I said okay, then we went for the shot. They threw me off the window. I'm supposed to fall on the ledge. My upper body is hanging, my legs are behind.
Inside the room.
So I got hit at the wrong place and now I can't even say cut. I'm in pain, I'm in very deep pain.
You are a method actor.
I can't even say cut because if I say cut, I have to go for another shot. So I was like, cut cheppandi. And then finally he said cut. I stood up and I sat there and I was like, yes, I found the cut. I was in peace.
He was in pieces.
Yes, I was. No, I was in peace.
You were in pieces.
I was in peace. That was a tough part. And then during the action part as well, where
we were being thrown around.
Yes. We were being thrown around and all. That was again a little tough. We all basically got hurt somewhere down the line doing action parts and all.
But then
we all got bruises and all. But
I would
it's all worth
appreciate
it.
the amazing work Rod Master and his boys did. Amazing job.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the best stunt directors, I would say, Rod Master, and
the kind of clarity
the way
they had.
he visioned and he picturized everything during the shoot. ఇది ఇక్కడ నుంచి పడాలి, ఇది ఇలా పడాలి, ఈ గ్యాప్ లో పడాలి, ఇంత స్పేస్ లోనే అవ్వాలి, తను అక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ పడుతున్నాడు, ఈ యాంగిల్లో పడాలి, అవన్నీ చూసుకొని డీటెయిల్ గా ఫస్ట్ తన అబ్బాయిలతో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయించి he used to ask us, అరే తు కరేగా, నువ్వు చేస్తావా? If we are like okay, పక్కా కరేగా,
then he will go for the take.
then he will ask us to do it. But then మేం చేసే ముందు he makes his boys do it like 3 to 4 times just to show us how it is going to be. That was the best part.
సో మీ బిగ్గెస్ట్ డ్రీమ్ ఏది? వాట్ ఇస్ యువర్ డ్రీమ్?
I would say
యాక్టింగ్ లోకి రావాలి అని అనుకున్నారా, లేదంటే ఆపర్చునిటీ వచ్చిందని వచ్చారా?
I was always a dreamer of being an actor. I was always a dreamer of being an actor. But I would say there is nothing like a biggest dream or something. I would say after every dream there is.
సో ఇంకా ఏమైనా టాలెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయా ఇది కాకుండా?
He's into beatboxing and he's a brilliant dancer as well.
అండ్ నేను కుకింగ్ అండ్ బార్ టెండింగ్. నేను యాక్చువల్లీ బేసిక్గా హోటల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ స్టూడెంట్.
सेट पे हमारे पैग यही बना था.
And he's also a great dancer as well. And he's into writing and stuff. Because of being in theater and all, he's very passionate about writing stuff.
YouTube channel like name.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Golden Hyderabadis. Apart from that, anchoring, martial arts, dance, weapons,
Leg pulling, comments, taunts.
All sorts of
All
it's multi-talent.
everything. Like I'll do everything.
We are
So
into
it's not
multi.
talent. Huh? There's no talent
Guy
here.
is a rapper.
He's a singer as well.
He's a singer and rapper and a lyricist. He writes his own lyrics and he's a brilliant rapper.
రీసెంట్గా ఒక 2 ర్యాప్ సాంగ్స్ కూడా రిలీజ్ అయ్యాయి.
Please,
Yeah.
some few lines.
ఎనీ ర్యాప్ సాంగ్?
Beatbox
picture
करो
ही
तो
है.
मैं सुनाता हूँ.
In the picture.
तेरे भाई ने देखे सभी आईने कहते हैं कि बेटा तुझ में शाइन है, शाइन ऐसी है कि चमके सारे अपने लाइन में खड़े नहीं क्योंकि सपने अपने हाई है। मुड़ के तू पीछे न देखना, आगे तू बढ़ के तो देखना, सपनों के तेरे जो आड़े आए उसको आंखें दिखा के तू सीना अपना तान के बोल दे। That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
We are very bunch of super talented boys.
We're not
Yeah.
talented. We learned.
We learned.
నేర్చుకున్నాను.
I literally learned.
Talent माँ के पेट से आता.
Oh, see, I told you writer, dialogue writer.
Yes.
हम आके सीखे.
अभी भी सीख रहे हैं.
ఒకవేళ మూవీ ఆపర్చునిటీ రాకపోతే ఏం చేసేవాళ్ళు?
Audition ఇచ్చేటోళ్ళం. ఇంకా auditions ఇచ్చేటోళ్ళం.
Keep preparing yourself, for whatever other opportunities are coming across. Munch projects ఏమైనా ఉంటే
I think taking the decision of getting into this field, becoming an actor, dreaming about it itself is a fight with the family and friends in the first place. So, Adi,
Sorry to add, but I think it's a battle with yourself also. You keep
Initially-
questioning yourself also, have I taken the right decision until it actually works out.
for a very long time
Very
you
long.
keep on asking yourself that same.
ఆల్రెడీ మీరు ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేసిన, హోటల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసిన, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఎనీ టాలెంట్స్ ఉన్నా ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ అనేసరికి అక్కడ వద్దు, స్ట్రగుల్స్ ఉంటాయి, యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్.
first and foremost statement, నీలాంటి ఒక 3,000-4,000 మంది వస్తారా?
ఆబ్వియస్లీ
నీకు అవసరం ఆరా ఇదంతా?
నువ్వేం చేస్తావు?
నీకు అవసరం ఆ ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ అని.
That is where the role of the skill comes in, which we learned and we are still learning. That's what puts us apart from the rest of the crowd, I would say.
So it's taken me 4.5 years to see myself on the big screen. It's been 4.5 years of struggle, and after the 4.5 years of struggle, 2.5 years obviously went into the shooting and making of Major itself, but I started 2 years before coming to Major. So overall it's been 4.5 years since I started working on this thing, and somewhere down the line I would say it's been worth it, waiting those 4.5 years, fighting those battles with myself and with the family and everybody else, and now that they have seen probably the same mutual feeling for everybody's families as well, that now they have seen us on the bigger screens, they are more confident of us now.
So initially,
We were very confident of ourselves when we started working on ourselves, but ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ టైం మమ్మల్ని స్క్రీన్ మీద చూసిన తర్వాత నా వాళ్ళకి కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఉంది. సరే మా కుర్రాళ్ళు వాళ్ళు చెప్పింది చేసి చూపించారు, సో డెఫినెట్లీ దే క్యాన్ గో బిగ్గర్ దెన్ దిస్.
I remember initially back in 2014, I started back in 2013, and 2014 lo I did a feature film wherein I played this protagonist who turns into an antagonist pre-interval. No, na peru Surya was my second project. That project never released. So my family was not convinced, and the scenario was like, "Are kya hi kar rahe? Em chestunnaro nuvu? College undi, college ki veltalevu. ఎప్పుడు చూసినా బయట ఇటు తిరుగుతావు, మోడలింగ్ అంటావు, సినిమాలు అంటావు, ఇది అంటావు, అది అంటావు." దాని తర్వాత నా పేరు సూర్యలో పనిచేశాను. ఇట్ వాజ్ అ వెరీ స్మాల్ క్యారెక్టర్. We went and watched the film, and the amount of shots we took during the shoot was not there. ఇప్పుడు ఒక మేము చేసిన సీన్ ఒక 3 to 4 minutes time ఉంటే in the film, in the actual film, when we watched it, it was probably 1.5 minutes. And when my family watched the film after it came into the TV, they were like, this is what you're doing, what is this? And then after that I did another film. It was actually a web series, then it was chopped down to a film. It's called Bhanumati and Ramakrishna. And recently after that I did this Virgin Story Kottaga Rekkalochana anu oka film. Dantlo individual character chesam. That was a normal length character, it was an individual character. But even after watching that film about a year ago, February lo release ayindadi, they were still not convinced. But now the other day when they watched the film Major on the 4th, they finally gave a sigh of relief ki he's doing something. He's doing something. And everybody, and my uncle, okay, specifically my uncle was so worried. He thought, अरे यार इसका हर जो भी पिक्चर कर रहा है उसमें scenes कट रहे. He thought that this film is going to be the same. I probably might be playing a very small character which is not even worth watching on the big screen. And when I booked the whole theatre for them and I took them to the film, my uncle was still not convinced. And when he watched the film, in the interval, he came out, he hugged me. He was like, I thought, चला गया होगा तेरा, इसमें भी सिर्फ इतना सा कुछ रहा होगा. But pre-interval शुरू हुआ है, मैं film के बाद तेरे से बात करूँगा. But so far, I see something. And I'm like, okay, that's a positive response coming from my uncle. There was no dinner table उसके बाद में our plan was to sit with my uncle and मेरे जो best friend के dad है. We all planned to sit with the JD bottle that was gifted to me by a friend of mine. We thought of sitting and having that bottle, but unfortunately we had to leave for Pune immediately the next day.
Jeera drink.
Yeah, Jeera drink. And I had to leave for Pune, so we couldn't do that. Dinner chesi, we had to leave. And I came back, and that's when everybody sort of opened up at home, and they're like, okay, even the family who never used to call us, whatever it is, they are calling, and we saw the film, Honey's done a good job, it was an amazing film, Falana Dhimkana, and I'm like, acha.
Yeah, I think on that front.
Yeah, I think you did a tremendous, very good job.
Yes.
Especially with the, I think, couple of takes where I loved your performance was one when you throw that bombs towards the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And second, when you dart towards the camera, which is the dog's view, after shooting the blind man, I clearly remember you're like, "Tu kyun bhog raha hai?" That tilt in the head was like,
that tilt, again reminds me of
in the eyebrow.
That tilt again reminds me of,
I don't like
the duel between you and Sesh, where, he's taken you as a hostage, he's got you there, and then, you both look at each other in the eyes, and then,
okay.
you do that. Nine, down, that tilt again.
And then it's slowly, okay. He's looking at him like that.
Yeah.
Shesh is looking at him, oh fuck.
And theater also reminder వస్తారు అనమాట. అందరూ హౌస్టేజ్ అందరూ బ్లాక్ వేసుకుంటున్నారు. వచ్చినప్పుడు సైన్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ సైలెంట్. షేష్ చేతిలో ఉంది ఎవ్రీబడి హస్ గూస్ బంప్స్ అంటే అందరూ అయిపోయాడు. నేను సిట్టింగ్ ఇన్ ద థియేటర్ వెనకాల జనం అయిపోయాడు హీరో అయిపోయాడు అని. దెన్ హీ విల్ రివీల్ హిస్ ఫేస్ లైక్
that shot I still
everybody
remember.
in the theater were like,
yes terrorist venkala terrorist an antunna.
Yeah, there were a few people behind our rows as well who were like, he'll kill you
correct so I think the audience has gone very clever as well. They start predicting what's happening next and who's doing what, and also
every death scene lo okkaru chanipotunte people are enjoying. Champu like words anamata. Craziest thing.
It was good, looking at the reactions of the audience and all. It was really good, and the amount of phone calls and messages I think all of us have received from people that never used to call us or messages for a very long time. That shows that we have probably we haven't still reached where we want to be.
We just
but
took a step,
Yes.
and we justified that step. We took a big stand, like
Yes.
Angad ka pair bolte hain na, pair rakha hai bhai.
we did.
Correct.
And that thing resonated.
Correct.
So yeah, and it's all thanks to Shashi Anna, Sheshan and the whole team
Absolutely.
who's put in all the efforts, who's thought of us in this particular character and helped us grow in
Believed
terms of
in
that.
us a lot.
And yeah, believed in us, of course. And for that, we are grateful and will always be thankful to them.
And I think in the closing, I'll say we are thankful to the audience at large because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
the amount of love that India has shown to Major the movie, our characters, actors, Shesh doing the role of Mr. Sandeep Unnikrishnan, Sashi sir making the movie, everyone on board. We are a team. We presented something, and I remember Shesh put it on Instagram on the day of release was Major is yours now. India.
Absolutely.
Correct.
That even while saying I have goosebumps, like we
And
produced the
honestly,
baby and we're offering it to the audience and we're saying it's yours now. And the way they have taken care of Major the film is like, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And the best part of the film is, I've heard a few people tell ki this is Major's life story and Major's point of view and people who were in the 2611 their point of view. But this story is actually the story of Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan's parents.
Parents.
That's the perspective of what their parents saw that grew up into something amazing, and today is right next to all of our freedom fighters, I would say.
And every time we see Prakash sir and Revati ma'am, I think I have watched it 8-9 times so far. And every time I watch both of them perform on screen, especially I think they put their heart and soul into it. They probably, brought those real feelings into them where, it resonated on the screen as if they lost their own son. So, that reflected on all the audience as well.
I mean,
everybody was, I've seen a lot of people cry.
Audience కూడా కంట్లో నీళ్ళు వచ్చేసినాయి.
Yes.
Even Prakash was talking.
I mean, this thing blew up bigger than the actual blast of the 2611.
Deep sir's father said that we lived in tears all these years, but now we live with pride.
Yes.
That means that someone who's lost his only son to an incident as a heroic figure, was weeping in silence all these years. When the story has been brought forward and the world is acknowledging what his son has done, and he says, now I live with pride, I think that's the biggest
reward
every person connected to the movie.
Absolutely. We thank them as well for, allowing the team of Major to make a film on their son's life. Otherwise, probably we would have never been a part of that.
There were a lot of people who approached them and they were rejected.
Yeah.
And even Shesh Anna himself was rejected about 5 times or something.
Yeah.
5%.
Hi guys, na per Gaurav Manakthala, your very own red t-shirt guy, Hafiz from Film Major. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Byte Media.
Hi, na per Sai Kumar. Please subscribe to Byte Media.
Hi, my name is Rocky. Please like, share and subscribe to Byte Media.
Hey guys, this is Thakur Hani saying don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to Byte Media.